Well, science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM as it is referred to, is a big focus in our country's education system, especially after surveys have shown that our next generation is falling behind in these subjects. Now that art is being added, the acronym is now being referred to as STEAM. And here on the Suncoast, Neidra LaFontant is leading the initiative to get kids familiar with STEAM with a familiar toy. All right, so Neidra, tell us about STEAM. You know, what does the acronym really stand for and what is it?
So the acronym is Science, Technology, Engineering, Art, and Mathematics. But it's really indicative of a movement to try to get kids engaged in those fields because those are the growing fields in the future and we are lagging for that need.
All right, and you know, when you say that technology need, does that include coding? What does it include?
Yes, so the T in STEAM is technology, and that stands for coding. And the big word nowadays is coding. So what is coding?
Yeah, what is coding?
I was going to say, I don't know what that means.
What is coding? So coding is basically telling technology what to do, but doing it in their language. So it's just like we communicate as human beings in different languages, we need to be able to communicate to technology through coding, which is their languages.
All right, and you're using a toy to do this?
Yes, we are, because we want to keep it fun and engaging, so we're just kicking it up a notch with Lego, using Lego robotics.
I like Legos,
so,
and my grandkids do, but I don't know how I do this stuff.
Yeah, so tell us about, so the Legos are being made into different toys?
So this is a combination of regular Lego pieces as well as a microprocessor.
And when you're putting it together, you guys, they actually literally get the Legos, put the Lego pieces together, and then they tell the Legos to do things?
So what they do is you build the individual pieces, which actually wind up being missions, and then those missions, the kids have to design a program to put into the microprocessor to complete these missions.
Oh my gosh, so this isn't the Legos that I played with growing up where you just build towers. These are all like
so the
talking to each
Legos
other.
actually work.
They're actually working, because if you look at each of these individual missions, they have to do specific types of activities and functions. So for example, with this one, you have to design the robot so that it pushes and turns this piece right here. Exactly.
And the reindeer gets to go round and round.
Yes, it does, for a lot of points.
Tell us about my dog.
This is called Serviceman Action. Now, the theme this year is called Animal Allies, and it's about the positive interactions between humans and animals. So the theme of the set is based on that, with this called Serviceman. So what it is during the competition, this stays up.
Let me see if I can move it out so we can actually see it.
So you have to program the robot so that this goes down, and you'll see that when this is up, that the dog is actually walking with the blind man. So when you put this down, the dog actually sits, signaling the blind man to stop walking. So that's a positive interaction between humans and animals.
It's
and
like
the kid has to build this.
Yes, the child has to build this whole set, and then of course build the robot, and then the program to go with it.
Now,
so
and how can parents get their kids involved in this? You know, because it just seems like it's a good idea.
It's an absolutely wonderful idea. It's a great, I think, graduation from regular Legos to robotics into this set. It's an annual competition. They start in August, and we're launching clubs so that kids hopefully get engaged and learn about it and then want to compete as teams.
Oh, look, is this Batman?
This is a bat. You can touch the
It's
bat.
not even Batman, it's
just
a
a bat.
Now, I have a question about these ideas because they're amazingly creative. So when you work in the clubs and then you go to competition, are the kids thinking of the ideas such as the blind man and the guide dog, or are they given those?
So they are given the theme, which is Animal Allies, and they are given the set. But then it's up to them to strategize, design, and build and translate that into a program so that they can take on each of these missions.
Boy, when you think about the skills these kids are learning, not just the science, not just the math, but the collaboration, the communication, the teamwork. That's really neat.
What is that guy over there?
This is the gorilla. And what you do with him is they need to program the robot to be able to get this to dispense food. And then put the food over by the gorilla.
What?
Oh, so the gorilla learns to eat.
So they program this, dispense the food.
Push that right in the back. And then
there's more
you have to make sure that the food is the same color. You can't put two different colors. So then they have to be able, whether using sensors or just their type of programming, how to separate the colors as well.
Because you don't want to give the gorilla a stomachache.
Don't do it.
It's amazing to me how many different things are involved with this process.
Oh, this
yeah.
is amazing. And again, this is something that the community can get involved with. And
Yes.
there's an event coming up that you guys have, the Lego first event here. Tell us
Right,
about
it's
that.
actually going to be in Tampa, and we've got 86 teams from 16 counties, and we even have teams coming from the Cayman Islands
Wow.
to come and participate. And what they have to do is they're doing core values, which is where good sportsmanship, professional.
Something else.
Yeah, something else. And then what I love is they call it cooperation.
Okay.
Where
yeah.
it's
Oh,
a
that's
play
good.
on competition and cooperation.
And
so just
working
'cause you're
together.
competing,
Yes.
right, you can still
Yes.
work together.
All right, well, thank you for this update. Again, STEAM is the new trend. You got to get your kids involved. And if you want to get more information, you go to their website. That is suncoastfll.com. And next, we're going to have our Suncoast View gift guide continues with some good gifts. We'll be right back.